Good morning. You're muted, Donald.
Place. Good morning, Jeremy. How are you?
Come on now. I'm only supposed to have this trouble with Nick. You're
Kept
supposed to be
getting
my
my
flash.
stuff. My stuff is bouncing too, so I don't know what's going on.
Hopefully we don't end up having the same problem I had last night. I had Don Elmy on the show, 13th Dimension, and we had a great conversation going on, and then all of a sudden his connection just started going on the fritz real bad.
Hmm.
Um, was never able to get it stabilized, and we ended up having to end the show a little earlier than expected. So,
Well, hopefully everything will be smooth today.
yeah, hopefully we won't be spending too long on here today because I know you and I both have stuff to do later on.
You still
Uh,
got the beard thing going
I know I'm debating on how much longer I want to keep this thing going.
on. I just shaved the first time in a week last night. It was it was full. I mean, it was a lot of. It wasn't very long, but it was just irritating me.
That mine is like right here where it irritates me. So
Mine
when
gets all up under here.
yeah, yeah, usually it's the bottom part for me, but it's the worst right at that crease in the neck. Um, so last night when I was in the shower, I just took a little razor and kind of went right off on the edge to take that irritation part out. So, so what do you say we just get right on into it? We have a very, very serious situation to talk about. Um, Something that I don't recall ever happening in any wrestling ring ever. Um,
At least not televised.
right. Now, there have been some situations where it would get a little heated in the ring, and you can tell that, okay, this is not part of the show, but I have never seen anything go to the level that this did. Um, and, well, all I can say is that Raja Jackson um, completely changed everything.
Yeah, I saw videos where there was they were outside or something, and he hit him with a beer can
Yep.
on his head. But there's speculation that it was a prop can, but I don't even think it was full. I don't think it even had liquid in it. I think it was just a can. From
Well,
what I saw,
something came out of it.
did it?
Yeah, I could see a little spray coming out of that can, like maybe it was maybe quarter full. Um, but it looked like something did come out of the can, and if you have somebody hit you upside the head with an empty can, you're not going to feel it unless they went by they did it rim first.
Right.
Um, but you heard the can crumble, and as soon as that happened, he got right up in his face. And the second that we heard Psycho Stu ask, "Are you going to sell it?" That's when shit just got real. Um, Now, I have been doing a lot of reading on this, and the guy in the cowboy hat that got in between the two, his name was AJ Mana,
Hmm.
invited Roger Jackson to the event. Um, and Psycho Stu, for whatever reason, thought that Roger was part of the show. So I don't know if somebody had communicated to him that they were going to do something or if he just automatically assumed it. Um, I would love to see what happened before the can crushing incident, but I don't know. There's a few things just not adding up in this entire situation, but the end result was um, absolutely unnecessary.
I agree. You know, it comes to a point where, and I think we discussed this briefly in chat, but bringing some of these celebrities in to do run-ins and stuff like that, I think they need to stop doing that so much. I think they probably will after this incident because I mean, you kind of go back to the, was it WrestleMania? Was it WrestleMania where Cody lost the title?
Oh yeah, with Travis Scott.
Yeah, with Travis Scott. These guys that aren't trained to pull punches and stuff like that. You know, it's just a recipe for disaster.
Well, at WrestleMania wasn't so bad in terms of Travis Scott getting physical. It was at Elimination Chamber when he did that slap that busted Cody's eardrum. Um, that should have never happened. And in a way, it was pretty much the same scenario, except, Cody and Travis didn't get in each other's face beforehand.
Right, and it was just a one shot.
Right.
This thing that happened with Raja was, he hit him at least 20 times. I hear report of 20. I hear 22, 23.
It,
You
I,
know,
I tried to count. He was going so fast. Um, I think I got up to 22, but there were some people that were saying that he swung even more. But he was just going so fast.
yeah,
Um, when when that happened, AJ Mana got with him inside the building, and he was telling him, you know, we're going to get you in there. You, do a slam, tag him, get your receipt. Usually, when there's a receipt, it's one shot.
yeah,
Um, and even though I may not be a wrestler myself, but listening to the interviews and seeing all them talking about these things, I think it's safe to say that okay, you're going to get a receipt, or I'm going to get a receipt. It's one shot.
right,
Um, Now, when that discussion was taking place back there, I didn't see Stu anywhere. So I don't know what his understanding was um, of what AJ was saying. Now I know that they had shook hands right after the can. He apologized. I don't know how many times, and once they got inside the building, I didn't see anything involving Stu. It was just that cowboy guy and Raja. Um, Hi, Chris.
hey
And
Chris.
it was, for me, it was pretty apparent that they never should have let anything go beyond what happened outside because you could see the look on his face.
Hmm.
Um, and him saying, "I don't play that shit," or at one point he said, I'm gonna get my lick back." I don't recall. I don't remember if he said it outside or inside, but he said, "As long as I get my lick back, or you know, um, getting
Well,
his receipt."
one lick is one thing, getting your receipt back, but sitting there and just pounding on the guy for, you know, 5, 6 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever it was, it's just like, and then people trying to pull him off. It's a wonder he didn't get assaulted himself really bad with several of those wrestlers in there.
I I think they were all in
Shock.
shock, disbelief of what was going on, that they didn't know how to react. Keep in mind, these are independent wrestlers. These are not. They're trained, but they're not fully trained like WWE guys.
Right.
Um, Now, the guys in WWE, if this would have ever happened, somebody would have been right there before. Well, depending on how fast he would have gotten there. Because do you recall seeing? It was back in '97, I think it was. It was a match between Triple H and Steve Austin, and Steve Austin had just knocked Hunter down, and a fan came in.
Hmm.
Hunter got right up there and gave him a German suplex and got him out.
Yeah.
Did
And it's
not
been,
hesitate.
yeah, and there's been instances where fans, jump in the ring and go after folks, and they get the hell beat out of them for doing it.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure go to jail after that.
So, and speaking of that, it still baffles me. At least it has not been uh, said publicly, but he is still out walking.
Yeah, that don't make any sense to me.
I know. And this happened in California of all states. Um, I don't know if it was like San Diego or San Jose or somewhere around there. I don't remember exactly, but
Yeah.
he gets in there, and you can clearly see it on the video. He gets in there and picks up Stu, um, and Stu doesn't fight him off. So at this point, he's thinking, okay, this is what we're doing, and he slams him down, but he doesn't slam him down like most wrestlers do.
Hmm.
Kind of sloppy, but it was enough to knock him out. You can see his head bounce off the mat. It knocked him out. And then Roger just jumps on him and starts pounding on him. Um, there's no two ways about this, but that was attempted murder that we were watching.
Yeah, I mean, there's no, like I said, after the beer can thing or the aluminum can, whatever it was, after that whole incident, they should have just pulled that whole thing out.
Yeah.
No run in, if it was a planned run in, which I think probably was because you didn't really see anybody try to stop him. Um,
What gets me is, why wouldn't those two have talked beforehand before doing anything?
and it's possibility they did. It's just so much out there that you still don't know about the whole situation.
Right.
Always after the can incident, up until
Well, it's everything that happened before the can. That's what I want to know.
yeah.
Because Stu had it in his head that, okay, it's okay to hit this guy with the can, and it turned out it was not okay.
And
So
I don't understand that whole process.
yeah,
But
I don't either. So why did he have it, in his mind, that he was going to do that?
And you don't know what all was said or done prior to that.
Right.
Um, so there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of unanswered things.
Yeah.
Um,
Like if you and I were to do something like that,
we're going to sit there and talk about it.
right. We're going to talk about this before I hit you over the head with a can, because if we don't talk about it and I do it, you're going to be like,
What the hell are you doing?
yeah. Um, and it, I think it was half a work and half not.
I think
Um,
it was intended to be a work, but then it got out of hand real fast.
yeah. I think from Stu's perspective and maybe Mana's perspective, they were looking for this to be a work, but somehow the communication didn't get across to Raja. And also with Raja, they were announcing that just 3 days prior he got kicked in the head and suffered a concussion.
Well,
Now,
you know,
I've never had a concussion, so I don't know how long the effects last. Um, but I do know enough that if somebody has a concussion, you're not supposed to be really doing anything very physical for the next little while.
yeah,
And 3 days is not enough. Look at Daniel Bryan. Look at how long it took for him to come back to wrestling. Um,
yeah,
I would think that for the most part, Chris, those things are already pre-planned. Um, Now, with that said, the whole thing about Ozzy Osbourne, um,
you're talking about Becky Lynch.
huh?
Talking about Becky Lynch.
Yeah. The way that I understand it was that that was not something that they had planned on. She just came up with on the spot. Um, so I can understand the reaction, but when you really listen to what she said, she didn't say anything bad about Ozzy at all.
No,
She only
um,
talked about the town that he came from.
yeah, the best thing that come out of here was the best thing that come out of here died last month.
Yeah.
I can see where that's a little mixed there because when I heard it, I was like, "Oh shit, you didn't." I was like, "That's," and my immediate thought and reaction to that was like, "That's a little too far." Um,
Too soon.
yeah, um, that was a little distasteful in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not so much, and people are, well, they said, the best thing that come out, but I mean, you just talked about, a legend passing, passing on.
Now,
Um,
had it been a year from now, it probably would have been all right.
yeah, too soon comment. I agree.
Yeah.
It'd probably, it, yeah, and it would have been, you would still got the hate off of it, but it wouldn't have seemed so disrespectful.
Yeah, because something like that, she would end up getting the go away heat. And for somebody like Becky, I would hate to see that happen because um, she really is amazing in the ring. And as far as her heel work goes, she has really taken it up to another level. Um, so much fun to watch, but that comment could very well put the brakes on everything.
Hmm.
Um, and last I heard was that WWE was exploring possibly doing a public apology on that. Um, but I don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, sometimes things like that is best to just kind of, you got the fire right now, and eventually it's going to die down and just like let it go away.
Yeah,
Now, the fans out there, I mean, if she wanted the heat, she's got it.
yeah, because they're going to remember it next time they come out.
Yep.
Um, and on a similar note, did you watch any of the highlights from SmackDown last night?
I Last night when I was laid down, I was kind of scanning through what had happened. I saw where Sammy won the title.
Yeah.
Um, that's odd a non PLE, but
So
I like it because of the it gives because you're not expecting a title change on a weekly show. It's mostly set up for PLEs and stuff, but I like
yeah,
a
they
major
always
title.
happen on regular shows, and they need to happen on house shows so that there can be more special meaning with the house shows.
Hey, Howie.
Hello.
Yeah, I
Yeah, the Cena stuff. That was what I was kind of leaning towards. Cena tracked down that kid.
yeah, I
That
saw that little video.
Yeah. So I thought that was huge thing. Um,
So I
but
wonder if they hooked him up with tickets and all that, and brought him in for the show. And
if they hooked him up with tickets, he would have had a lot better seats than where he was at. 'Cause he was way back there. I fully expected him to be somewhere around ringside, but no, he was like 20, 30 rows back.
by the entrance though. I mean, if I was going to have a spot, it'd either be the front row or right there at the entrance.
Yeah. Um, but even when that whole thing happened, the kid posted online say he understands what John's role was at the time.
Hmm.
The kid got it. He wasn't, very offended by it. He was kind of shocked, which I think that would be safe to say for anybody if John had targeted anybody. Um, but then for him to go back and actually apologize to him on a live show.
And he was all about the not so much the apology, but he was all just static with his phone and all that, recording. Cena's right there next to me and talking to me. You know,
Yeah. So pretty much bygones be bygones. Um, Actually, Howie, I was thinking that they should take the speed titles that they just put on NXT and turn those into television titles. Because I really like the whole concept of the world television title like they had back in WCW. Now, I was hoping that they would take the speed titles and transition those into television titles.
might not be a popular idea, but I wish they'd bring the hardcore title back.
If if they brought the hardcore title like it was instead of that vinyl record looking 24/7 title,
That's I like that idea. I like the idea of anywhere at any time you can be pinned for this title.
yeah.
Um,
And the fact that they did it during a Royal Rumble,
yeah,
that
I mean,
that just made it all the better.
it's one of those things that's totally unexpected type thing.
Yeah, but
There's no lead up to a big production of storyline and all of it. It's just like, hey, he's got the title. He's fixing to get his ass pinned.
but the 24/7 title didn't look good. It didn't have a good name to it. They needed to go, but when you think about the time period as well, they needed to keep it PG, which is probably why they called it that. But it was still the same principle.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but getting back to Raja, um, it took how many jump like five or six getting in there before they got him pulled off, and the referee was doing referee stuff, just kind of like waving him off when the guy was doing it. So that right there tells you that the referee wasn't trained to do anything.
Referee should have went. Yeah.
It- well, that and he should have. Well, maybe he was afraid to jump on the guy because he is an MMA fighter, but he has, from what I heard, an 0-1 record.
Well, that's at a pro level. You got
Yes.
to think about the training and all that goes into that, regardless of your record. You're still you're still lethal. Um, I've been around. It's been years ago. Um, I've been around some MMA events and backstage and locker room stuff, and uh, I found out real fast. And we're talking about minor league stuff, nothing UFC type. But I figured out real fast, just in conversations and listening to how they talk and everything else is like, these are not my type of people. Um, I will say 95% of the ones I've been around uh, are just full of themselves, egotistical. It's like chip on their shoulder, just, and it wasn't the type of people I was like, these aren't my people. Um, I grew up training in martial arts, and it was a big respect thing. Um, and I realized, this is totally opposite. This is me training to basically beat the hell out of somebody.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
I just pulled up his. It's a website called Topology.com. So it keeps records of people. So altogether, Raja has had five fights. Four of them are amateurs, and he won all four of them. He had one professional, and he lost that one. And that was his last match, and that was 2 years ago.
now they lose that to a knockout.
Uh,
Split decision.
no, it just says that it was a unanimous decision that he lost that fight. Um, Fight number one on the amateurs was November of 2021. Um, uh, this says it was a knockout. He won in round two, 51 seconds, ground and pound, which sounds like exactly what he did with Stu.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, he won with an anaconda choke. That was February of 22. In September of 22, he won by decision unanimous. And then May of 23, he won his last amateur fight with a TKO. And
Yeah.
then August of 23, he lost a fight, a professional one, by unanimous decision. And then he was supposed to have a fight this year in May, but it just says canceled bout. Um, no reason given why it was canceled. So, but so technically he is 4-1 um, in all fights. But the fact that he hasn't had one in over 2 years, Um,
That tells me that he's nothing special as far as in that format.
that's what
You know,
everybody is saying, that he's a nobody.
right? Uh, he wants to be like his dad, but he just don't have it.
Yeah, and let's see. I'm going to pull up his father.
Rampage. The Rampage was brutal.
Okay, MMA record: 52 matches, 38 wins, 4 losses. Uh, one of those losses was by disqualification. I don't know what. Let's see here. What would he have done to cause himself to get disqualified?
Uh, Back in the original MMA, Ultimate Fighting Champions, the first few years, there were no rules. You did whatever you wanted to. Um, they changed and now have rule sets. You can't kick somebody below the belt. You can't hit them on the back of the head. Um, just different things like that. So he might have kicked somebody low and didn't take the warning and did it again. It's kind of like the Mike Tyson biting the ear off. You know.
Okay, here it is. Um, oh, this is back in 2001. Knee to the groin.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so that was 24 years ago. So still young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was in TNA for a little while. He was also doing something in WWE at one time too. He was there for just a very short amount of time. Uh, okay. Oh, he was just a special guest host on Raw. That's what it was. And get into mm, cage match, Rampage, Rampage Jackson. He only had 2 matches.
Where?
Uh, one in TNA. He was part of a tag team match, and one at Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. So that'd be more. That's more of a fight thing. Bloodsport is, but for whatever reason, they still consider it professional wrestling, even though all the ring ropes are taken down. And
You know, yeah, you had back in the Attitude Era, you had several MMA fighters cross over. Shamrock,
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 Dan Severn,
Severin's. Those were legit.
Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle came over a few years ago.
Yeah, but he wasn't the stature of Shamrock and
Uh,
Severin's.
no, but he still had. Um,
And he probably got out realizing this ain't for me. I need to do something else. You
uh,
know, Ronda Rousey. Another one.
Ronda.
Um,
She might really be the biggest name to cross over. Okay, mixed martial.
Steve Blackman, was Steve Blackman ever in MMA?
Oh yeah. Um,
I used to love Shamrock's matches. Shamrock was. I used to. I liked watching him.
okay, Matt Riddle. He is 8-3 and 2 draws.
Okay, so he had a little bit of
He had more than
run.
50% winning percentage.
Right.
Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Um, well, actually, all four of them, the four horsewomen of UFC, Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, um, who's that? Who's that girl that's with John Moxley now over in AEW? Marina Sirif, something like that. And then there's the tall one, Jasmine, something like that. Real pretty. Yeah, Marina Shafir. She's actually married to, I think it's Roderick Strong, who's also in AEW. Um, and then there's the fourth one. I think her name is Jasmine something something or other. Uh, but she didn't last very long at all wrestling. Her and Marina were working as a tag team in NXT, and then they were both released. Um, okay, here it is. Jessamine Duke. But my impression of her is her passion for wrestling is not as big as her passion for video games. Um, and I think that may have been a factor for her getting released. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. In an interview, Ronda Rousey estimated that Jessamine pays more of her bills streaming than she does from fighting. So,
And me personally, if I can sit there and make a lot more money doing streaming and playing video games, I'll take that over getting the hell beat out of me every week.
I think most people would. I think
At
most people
least,
would.
at least she's not, doing OnlyFans. I mean, she's making money off of something that's keeping her clothes on,
Well,
and it won't haunt her back, 20 years from now when the grandkids, or 30 years from now when the grandkids come across it.
uh, well, she's 39. Um, I find her very attractive, but I don't see anything about her being in a relationship. She has no children, so
Well, you look at Liv Morgan. She's single. She was in a abusive relationship, and she's like concentrating on her career.
I thought she just started dating somebody.
Last I heard, she had.
Let's see. No, I guess not. Well, she was rumored to be in a relationship with Bo Dallas for several years, but she's saying that she's not. She's single. Um, she was dating Enzo for a while. I'm still trying to figure out how did that happen.
Well, I was thinking the same thing with Tiffany and uh, Von Kaiser. I was like, that those two don't look good together.
Tiffany and who?
Tiffany Stratton, when
Yeah,
she was in Kaiser. Is it Kaiser?
yeah, Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah.
Actually, I have seen videos of them and everything, and they look like they go well together. They seem like they go well together.
I never saw it. They just look too different.
It it's just Liv and Enzo that just really got me. Uh,
He was a Hooters manager. Who?
she was working there when she got hired in. I think Liv.
Tiffany. Oh,
Liv.
Live. Yeah,
Yeah, I think she was working there when she got hired.
yeah. I saw that on Unreal where she was talking about that. She went to training camp and all that, and or tryouts. She went to tryouts. She was too young the first time, and she went back and did it the second time. She started after that first tryout that she couldn't go. She started really
Yeah,
working on the wrestling thing.
I remember when she first started, she really caught my attention. Um, the first match I saw her wrestle in was against Eva Marie, and Enzo was a manager.
And finished Hooters.
Um, I can't see that, but you just never know. Um, okay, so let's get back to Raja. So before he jumps in the ring, he is streaming on this platform called Kick. I've heard of the platform. I don't know anything about it. Apparently, he has a big following, and he was saying that yeah, it's all set up. He's going to go in there. He's supposed to beat up Stu, and he says on here that they don't know what he's actually going to do. He said he's going to knock him down, and that the plan was for him to knock him down and punch him, but he said that he's not going to do that. He's going to continue punching him until somebody pulls him off.
Now, see that type of that's premeditated.
Yes. And there can be no disputing that because it's on video, it's streamed, thousands of people saw it. There can be no denying this or this can't be used for evidence.
Right. I'm surprised that he's not been charged already.
I don't get that either.
Even with the family, I would definitely seek charges.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Um, and and a lot of people are saying that this is premeditated murder. I definitely see it that way too, because the way that he was wailing in on that guy's face, and I can speak from experience. When your face is broken like that, it can kill you.
Hmm.
Um, and it's been reported that Stu did flatline. He was choking on his own blood. He was choking on his teeth. He flatlined. Um, I don't know when he flatlined, if it was while he was in the ring or when they pulled him out, when that happened. Um, they didn't show any more video for after that, any paramedics or anyone like that. They just said that he flatlined, and when word got back to Raj that the guy flatlined, supposedly he said, "Oh, my bad," and showed no remorse for it.
Yeah, something's not right up in the head.
Right, right. Um, and one of the guys that pulled him off, he took a swing at him too. I think he actually hit him. Um, one of the bigger wrestlers. The the whole situation is terrible. There
Hmm.
is no good coming out of this. No silver lining, no nothing. It's just bad all the way around. And then there's another video after he leaves, and he is just screaming. He's tired of people disrespecting him, people clowning him, and um, then a wrestler came out of the building, and it looked like Roger was going to try to go after him, but the guy that had the camera, I don't know if he had like a body camera or if he was holding it with his phone, um, but he was holding Roger back, and I don't remember what all he said, but it sounded like he was threatening him too.
Yeah, something ain't right in his head.
No, and I think it goes beyond.
It goes beyond the can incident.
No, it goes beyond the concussion that he had. Because I'm looking at a picture of him right now, um, getting ready to go into a fight, and something about his eyes just don't look right. It's like he seems to be one of those guys that wants to hurt people,
Mm-hmm. I can
and
tell something.
right, and has found an outlet to do it and get paid for it. Well, I guess technically you could really say that about most MMA fighters. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what kind of mindset you have to go into UFC
Yeah,
where
there are a lot of respectable in the UFC far as professional fighters. Um, for, you can see some that are very respectful far as the competition wise. Um, the ones I get is like a guy goes down and you can clearly see that they are knocked out and they pounce on them and start hitting them 3 or 4 more times before the ref will get them off. And like just if I was to hit a guy like in that situation, hit a guy and I see clearly he's knocked out, it's like okay, done.
well, I'm looking at a list.
Even some of the press conferences they have are just blows my mind how egotistical some of it is.
I'm looking at a list right now of fatalities in mixed martial arts contests. Um, let's see. In sanctioned fights, let's see. There's Sam Vasquez, Michael Kirkham, Tyrone Mims, Buto Guilan, Don Shea White, Rondell Clark, Mateus Fernandez, Justin Thornton, and Christian Lubenja. Um, all died between 2007 and 2022. In unsanctioned fights, there's Alfredo Castro Herrera, Douglas Dedge, Mike Mittelmeier, Dustin Jensen, Felix Pablo Ila- Ilachukwa. He's Nigerian born. Um, Raman Zinolov, Jameson Leah, uh, JOAO, with the little accent over the A, Carvalho, all died in unsanctioned fights. Um,
And that's just the ones reported.
huh?
And that's just ones that are reported.
Yeah, well, get this. This first one that I mentioned, Alfredo Castro Herrera, 15 years old. He's 15 years old. In 1981 in Tijuana, Mexico.
Yeah, it's Mexico.
Yeah. Um, for professional boxing matches, the Manuel Velasquez Boxing Fatality Collection lists 923 deaths in between the years of 1890 and 2008. That's what's listed here. Um, and Manuel Velasquez was an American anti boxing activist who kept meticulous files on boxing related deaths. So, uh, very, very against the sport of boxing.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody, even close to that in competition with when we go. I did see a guy get sidewalk slammed one time. It was just a freak accident how it happened. And I saw a guy get knocked out uh, to a point where he had to go to the hospital, but that was just from him uh, ducking his head. Like he was ducking a back fist or something, and he ducked his head down. And when he did, the other guy was coming up with a kick and basically caught him with a knee right to the head, and he went out.
Wow.
But when we're sparring and stuff in classes, like I'm always, kids will try to do that starting off. I was like, you don't ever duck your head. I said you'll eat a knee to the head, knee to the face. It's like keep your head up. But
Okay, so now as a result of all this, Rampage Jackson is saying that he has been receiving death threats. Um, why he should be the one to receive the death threats is beyond me. He is the father, granted. Um, a lot of people are saying, well, if you had raised him better, he wouldn't have done this. And well, that may not necessarily be the case.
yeah,
Um, let's see there. Oh, and there is evidence of him picking on his son right before this happened. Something about you going to let this wrestler do that to you and blah 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 um, and people are calling or saying that him egging him on is one of the reasons why Roger went to the extreme that he did.
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Um, and a lot of people are really weighing in on this. Mr. Beast has offered to help with Stu's hospital bills. Um, if you're familiar with Mr. Beast,
Mhm.
he is one of the biggest social media influencers. If you look him up on YouTube, he does all these crazy videos. One time he did like a 20-hour video of him saying Logan Paul 1 million times.
What the hell?
Yeah, that was the video that launched him into superstardom for influencers.
Saying Logan Paul for 24 hours.
1 million times.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I even clicked on that video to see if he actually did it, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I just kind of like clicked in a couple spots, and holy cow! And at the very end, he was like, "Logan Paul, Logan Paul, Logan Paul, Logan Paul." Oh, I am not kidding.
Why would people watch that?
Huh?
Why would people want to watch that?
I I don't know.
Now,
Like I said, that was the video that launched him.
now I will say this. It's like you got all these different TikTokers now that just throw out random stuff, but there's also these lives, and
Yeah,
some of them are like weird, and you're like mesmerized by what am I watching?
you're mesmerized by the
And you
stupidity of it.
what it's just weird. Um, there's this. I'll give you an example. There was this, I'm guessing, Russian family, and they were all sitting around their house and playing music and singing to the music, and it looked like something out of Wrong Turn. And it was like, and people are watching, and I'm sitting there watching. It's like, oh my god, because the biggest thing, the funniest thing, is the comments that are popping up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was strange. And then there's this other group of family. I think they're uh, might be Pakistani. They're from a foreign country. They wear the hijabs and all that stuff, and it's like they're very unattractive, and they'll sit there and just. I mean, it's crazy. Then I've seen videos where they're at a foreign country like the Philippines or something. They're making plastic cups, and there's somebody videoing people working and
Yeah.
getting these plastic cups out of the machine, and then they dump them on the floor, and then somebody comes over and sweeps them all into a big pile, and then there's other ladies that are over in the pile just picking them and stacking them up. And it's like, and the comments are crazy because it's like, what, because some of the comments are like, I'm stuck, I can't stop watching, even though it's crazy.
A while ago, I would come across why this ever showed up on my algorithm. I don't know. Um, because I come across it a few times, and what it was is that um, two different kinds, and they are Oriental women. One of them is like she comes up out of this hole in the floor, and she is surrounded by toy trucks, and she gets like a bigger toy truck, but it looks like the kind that people would sit on while they're doing their gardening. Because I have something similar to that, but it's not exactly a truck.
Right.
And she takes the lid off of it and scoops all these little trucks into this one. Puts the lid on, tosses it aside, and gets the next one. Scoops them up, close them, toss it aside, and I'm thinking people are actually watching this, and just totally random. It came up on my TikTok feed. And then there's another one. I still have no idea what it is, but these things come to these women in a bucket, and they have some sort of a wristband on, and it's got the curly wire going up to something else like a telephone wire going somewhere. I don't know what that bracelet is for, but they take it's almost like they take four things and stick them into these little slots and bend them all back and then put take them off and put them on a conveyor belt.
I've seen Amazon workers on TikTok where they're showing them packaging stuff up, putting the box, taping it up,
This
living.
wasn't Amazon.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I still have no idea what these things are that they are bending back. They put four of them into this thing, bend them all back, take them off and put them on the conveyor belt. Take the next four, bend them back. I have no clue what those things are.
I remember when the streaming stuff started taking off, and my kids were sitting there watching somebody play a video game, and I'm like, why are you sitting there watching somebody play a game? Which now I kind of see a little bit because I watch videos for. I don't necessarily watch a live stream watching, but I'll sit there and watch like tips on how to build this or build that or do this in a game, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Well, I've done that, but
But
I haven't done one this
you
year yet.
you ever seen the videos? Because my granddaughter would watch, and even some of my kids when they were younger would watch adults, and all you see is hands, and they're sitting there playing, opening Play-Doh up and making. They're playing with Play-Doh.
Okay, the Play-Doh have not seen, but I
Yeah,
have watched several people playing video games and streaming. Because I've done that myself, but I don't do it like they do. Because the way that they do it is you got the full screen for the game
and
and
they're over the
play
corner.
right there in the corner.
Yeah,
I don't put myself on that, but I don't I don't have that capability. What
I'll
I is I have this camera right here, which is the exact same camera that I've got here,
right.
and I've got it facing this TV right here. I've actually got two TVs side by side. This is where I watch my movies, and this one here is just for video games.
Yeah, I'll sit there and stream. I'll sit and stream if I got a good connection, like at home. Now, if I'm at work, I don't do it. But every once in a while, I'll stream like 7 Days of Die, which is what I'm playing a lot right now. And I could do stream. I'm actually doing stuff,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's on Twitch. At one time, I was doing Twitch WWE 24, 23K. Yeah, K23. I was doing some uh, Twitch matches on there, and I was using like old school wrestling characters. I would make some, or I would download them, like
Yeah.
Rocco Express and Midnight Express. I'd have them in a match, and I'd be commentating, and let the I wouldn't actually be playing. They'd be wrestling AI.
There's a guy on YouTube that I used to watch a lot. I've gotten away from it, but every now and then I'll watch a video of his. It's Ricky J Sports.
Hmm.
He does a lot of he does mostly Royal Rumbles on his channel, and I was watching his subscription when I first started watching him. He was at about 20,000, and he was doing Royal Rumbles like every 3 or 4 days, and he grew. I think right now he's at 170,000. He just grew very quick doing that.
Some guys at the station, some younger guys at the station, volunteers. They hit me up with this damn Marble Olympics.
Yeah.
This whole thing where you pick a, it's interactive too. You pick what color or whatever, and it's like it's crazy.
Okay, now Mark Henry weighed in on this, and he says that he thinks that Psycho Stu deserves partial blame for the incident. Um, I can see a little bit of the argument, but I want to know how he got it in his head that Roger was a worker.
Yeah. Now, RBD, I saw where RBD was kind of condoning. Uh,
Yep, I was going to bring
I,
that up.
I lost a lot of respect for RBD right then.
Well, he also said that he feels that Roger should go to jail.
Oh, did he?
He did, yeah, he did say that. I did see where he was on Team Raja for whatever reason, and then um, he kind of backpedaled there.
He
Um,
probably realized, the backlash off the first comment.
Probably. Um, JBL said that this was premeditated murder.
I would expect that from JBL.
Yeah.
It,
Maven, he he actually said borderline assault, and a lot of fans got on him about it. And he said, "No, you guys are right. This is assault. There should be jail on this." But he was trying to look at it from all angles too, like what I'm trying to do here.
with JBL, I know I loved JBL when he was in the Acolytes. When him and Ron Simmons were together, love that whole thing.
Oh yeah,
I didn't care too much for the whole cowboy meet billionaire type thing. Um, and when he went heel, and then, uh, but far as JBL as a person, I really I like him a lot because he will say what he's thinking, and he don't give a shit if you agree with him or not.
right.
He's not politically correct. One that sticks out is when 9/11 happened. Everybody else is on there, kind of crying and condolences and all this. JBL was on fire. He said, "We're going to find you. We're going to find you, and when we do, we're going to turn your little country into a fucking parking lot."
A lot of people have said that he was a bully um, during his time in WWE.
I think I've heard that too.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of people that said, oh, John was such a great guy back there. So I'm going to guess that it sort of like kind of the attitude that I take on is if somebody says I'm a great guy, believe him. If somebody says I'm an asshole, believe him. Because um, I react by how people treat me.
Mhm. The same.
So, and that could be why JBL had this stigma of being a bully. But I don't know what happened during that time. Um, and there's a lot of people. Conan said that Roger should be thrown in jail. Disco Inferno says he should be in jail. He's nothing like this has ever happened. Um, and seeing what has happened, I think is going to completely change how celebrities are brought into wrestling. Um, Now, WWE has a real good track record with celebrities coming in, but they work with these people.
They got their ducks in a row when they bring somebody in.
Yes.
It's not thrown together.
Jelly Roll went through almost a year's worth of training before he got in the ring. Um,
And I think doing that type of thing with their celebrities that they're bringing in, they have time to train them, make sure that things are going to go like they're supposed to. Um, get them prepared for this. And I think in turn, those same celebrities, you know, they they give the respect of what the business is.
right.
Um,
Um, Logan Paul came in from the outside, did great. Bad Bunny came in from the outside, did great. Even Lawrence Taylor, back in 1995, did good. Um, the worst thing that's ever happened was Travis Scott,
yeah,
and it was sort of like the same scenario. The Rock told him, "Okay, when you smack him, lay it in." The Rock told him that, and Cody ended up with a busted eardrum. Um, I'm glad things ended up not working out for him because he just completely ruined everything. He had no business out there.
no. When you're walking down through the arena drinking, smoking, and all that on the way down. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't put the kibosh on him then. I
Well,
don't
it was
think
kind of
he was this guy. I never heard of him until he
until he
came.
got there.
Yeah, but then again, most of the people that they bring out nowadays, when they do the national anthems or whatever, they say this person has so many billion streams, and I legitimately thought that the one person that was being announced, I really thought they had Taylor Swift when they announced all these accomplishments that this girl had. I really thought they had Taylor Swift, and when she announced the name, I'm like, who?
Yeah,
And they show, I don't even remember who it was. They show this girl on the screen and she's singing. Okay, she's got a good voice. I've got no clue who she is.
yeah. And I'm wondering if they're paying WWE a certain amount to be on there because that's I can see that.
Well, I don't see why not, because Arena's bid for WrestleMania now, and
Yeah, I can see where
the goal is for Arenas to start bidding not only for the PLEs but also for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown.
yeah I can see it'd be very feasible to have an artist, a singer, whatever, contact somebody and it's like, hey, I'll pay you. You know, what's your rate for me getting showcased on the show? You know, at some point in time, a spot. You know,
That just shows
I
you
can
how
see
far
that.
you come.
Yeah. Instead of the other way around, you contact WWE contacting them. Hey, you want to be part of this? So I mean, you get highlighted at one of these PLEs, and it's like, oh, people, who is that? And then you start looking for them. Which I don't, but
Well, that one, the one that had the so many billions of streams, I looked I looked her up and looked up her discography. She had like 3 hits on the Hot 100, and they weren't even in the top 20. But they weren't going by that anymore. They're now going by how many streams, how many downloads they have. Apparently, that's now the measuring stick.
it is because music. And I know we're going way off topic on a bunch of different. This is one of those shows where we're talking about everything.
Yeah,
But in the music business, in the '80s and '90s, it was especially the '80s. It was record sales,
yeah.
and when streaming started coming in, where you could download the music legally, it started drifting away from albums and just you could put the song out and how many times is it downloaded now?
And I don't like that because I like full albums. I like the collection because when I hear one song, I'm automatically hearing all the other songs on that album at the same time.
Exactly. I still buy um, I still buy CDs. I'll buy an LP every once in a while.
All of these right back here, those are all CDs. All of those are CDs.
And what I would do is if I got a CD, I would take and get it. I would immediately burn it. I'd immediately rip it and burn it to a copy and put my original away so it wouldn't get damaged. And if I ever needed to
I never thought about that.
do it again, I'll just rip another. I'll just burn another one. Um,
I actually never thought about that. Now, when I get my CDs, I do rip them onto my computer, but I don't make a duplicate copy.
yeah, I make a duplicate copy. That way, I'm playing it, and if it ever, which I ain't done in years,
Yeah,
now I will still support certain artists. I'll buy Alice Cooper. I'll buy Striper. Metallica burned me back when Saint Anger came out. Um, there are certain ones I will buy a copy of the album, um, and but most of the time I'm not listening to it. Usually pulling up YouTube and listening to it on YouTube.
Saint Holy cow, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, Saint Anger was. You had
What was wrong with that album?
it was horrible, man. Black Album. Black Album was great. Then you had Load and Reload. Both were good. Then you had Metallica S&M, I think, at some point in time in there. Then they went kind of hiatus for a little bit, then brought out Saint Anger. And I went to the store and bought it. No questions asked. It's like, oh, new Metallica. I got it and I listened to it. And it's like, this is nothing like the others. This is garbage. And then they had some kind of monster that was not that good. I haven't bought a Metallica album in years. At least not a new one. I've probably bought 6, 7 of those Black albums over the years.
They just put out an album 2 years ago called 72 Seasons. And they run it off of their own record label, Black
Yeah,
Label Records.
yeah. I bought the last album I bought, probably a Striper album.
Well, for me, Richard Marx, Taylor Swift, Michael Jackson, Vertical Horizon.
No, Jeremy, no Taylor Swift. No, I can deal with Richard Mark, but no Taylor Swift. Come
I
on.
am a big Taylor Swift fan.
Oh my
She
God,
just came out of nowhere.
I wish she'd go back to nowhere.
Okay, I will admit these last few albums have not been very good for me. She's had a couple songs that I thought were really good, but albums as a whole, not very good. Her her country albums, I love them dearly. Then I got worried when she was going to move to pop, get away from country completely. I got worried, but when she came out with 1989, I thought, holy shit, this is amazing. Reputation kind of sunk down a little bit, and then when she came out with Lover, it just went right back up. And then the pandemic hit, and she came out with Evermore, Folklore. I didn't care for those albums. I didn't care for Midnight. Um, the Tortured Poets Department, not so much. So I'm kind of worried about how this one's going to look. But she started working with Max Martin again, so I'm thinking she's going to go back to how like 1989 is going to be. I'm hoping. I'll find out in a month.
Uh, I couldn't tell you one Taylor Swift song. Um, Now Weird Al did a parody of it.
Oh yeah, he's
TMZ
another one that I would buy, no questions asked.
did what?
Weird Al is another one whose
Oh
albums I
yeah,
buy,
Weird.
but he's not doing albums anymore.
No, he's throwing out songs. I mean, I've got probably every song, every album he's put out. I've seen him in concert twice, and he puts on a damn good concert.
Oh, his concert! I've been to one concert and it was so much fun.
It's fun.
Um, yeah, his last album was 11 years ago, and he said it was going to be the last one. But damn,
That's not Alpazooza. What's that?
oh no, Alpalooza was one of the earlier ones.
That was the Jurassic Park era.
Yeah,
Um,
Mandatory Fun was the last one.
Now he did a concert. He did a tour that was uh, just basically singing hits and singing stuff that's on B side. Uh, not big hits, just songs that's on the albums. and it did it with he did a tour where it was no costumes, nothing, them just them singing. And I was like, why you got? And I guess it's like you want to do something different,
Mhm.
you know, less production, I guess. But then there's, if I want to go to a Weird Al concert, I want to see the costumes and all that stuff.
I went and saw him in concert, and he did one of these melodies that he normally does in the middle of the concert, and it was like he was wearing 20 different costumes all at once. With each song, he peeled off a layer, and it's like, holy cow, this guy's got to be hot underneath all of that. But
We took the kids years ago to concert down in Biloxi and saw him, and then we waited around the back where they were done, and Steve J came out. It's funny. We're down at Biloxi at like I forget which casino we were at, but he comes out the gate and he's on his bike. He starts signing autographs, talking to us, and he gets on his little bike and rides his bike to the hotel. And I'm like, look at this shit. But then, Al can't come out, and they let a bunch of us go in and get pictures and stuff like that with him. He was pretty cool.
yeah, there will never be another star like Weird Al ever.
No, no.
There may be
Have
more,
you ever
huh?
have you ever watched the complete Al? It's a VHS documentary.
No, I haven't.
That's good. It's got all the old hits on it. It's not like the documentary that he put out or the movie, the Weird Al movie that was out a couple years ago. This is a documentary and it's narrated and they throw in funny little stuff, little skits,
Oh,
and
you talking about the one with Daniel Radcliffe?
now that was the movie.
Yeah.
This was back in the '80s. It's called The Complete Al, and at that time it had all his videos mixed in with the
Okay. Yeah,
documentary.
I see it here. No, the only thing that I watched from back then was UHF.
Oh, I loved UHF. God, I watched that movie so many times.
But no, I
I
had
think this was even before.
Al, but never.
Mm, this might have been before UHF.
Yeah, it was.
Uh,
It
I've
was.
got an '84.
It was 85.
85. Watch it. It's really good.
If I can find it. UHF came out in 89.
It's
Okay.
got him going. It's got him going to Japan. It's got video footage of him in Japan and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So getting back to celebrities in wrestling. I do still feel that celebrities have a place in wrestling, but there has to be a walkthrough of some kind before anything happens. They cannot do whatever they didn't do with Raja. That was mistake number one.
And I guarantee you, WWE is going to be really looking at that in the future
Well,
before they bring anybody in.
they had already taken action because that company, that Knox, whatever their name was, they were affiliated with WWE through the ID program, and WWE pulled the ID status from them.
And I don't blame them one bit.
No, I don't either. And here's here's the other tricky part about this one. This Knox, whatever the name of this company is owned by Rikishi.
Yep, I saw that.
And then last night, Solo. loses the U.S. title. A lot of people are thinking that he lost it because of that, but they have been building up to this for the last few weeks, long before this even happened. But people are already throwing out the conspiracy theory that Solo lost the U.S. title because of that Roger Jackson incident.
It's feasible. They're trying to distance himself as much as they can. Right now.
It could be, but I think it's just all pure coincidence because I think they were already leading to Sammy winning the championship anyway.
I'm waiting for the day when he gets a world title.
I think it's going to happen next year because when you look at it, 2020, okay, 25 he wins the U.S. title, 24 he wins the Intercontinental title, 23 he got the tag team titles. So I think they're definitely leading up to him winning a world title next year. Um, and don't be at all surprised if Sammy is the winner of the Rumble next year.
I can see that.
Yeah, because he has been super over ever since Usi. How he ever came up with that, I don't know if it was like a literal on the spot makeup thing,
I
but
think it was. I think it was because the way Roman and them reacted to it.
no, it was Jay's reaction that got me. It it was Jay that got me because you could see the look on his face, like, "What did you just say?" I'll still watch that clip every now and then and still laugh at that because that was pure gold, platinum when he said that. Um, but I know a lot of people want to, just from the timing of it, say, well, Solo lost the title because of Roger Jackson. I'm going to say that he probably did not, um, because they had already been running this angle, and the match was set before that all happened. So
True.
I think it was just pure coincidence that everything happened when it did. Um,
Well, I guess we'll see over the next couple weeks. What the ramifications are
well,
on Raja.
did you see where another independent wrestling show was claiming that they had booked Roger Jackson for a special appearance?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it is Danger Pro Wrestling something. Danger something
I'd pull that shit.
said that they had just booked him to show up sometime next month, and I thought, huh? What the hell?
After this incident or before?
This incident happened about
Why?
3 or 4 days later. This company gets on X and says, "We just booked Roger Jackson for an appearance." And the first thing in my mind was, well, now the police now know where he's going to be, so they can come and pick him up.
No, I'm sure they know where he's at.
Yeah. Well, then about a day or two later, they said that they were just doing that as a publicity stunt and that they didn't really book Roger Jackson. And I'm like,
You either did or you didn't. If you did, you got the backlash. Like
oh, they got backlash, all right.
nobody's going to go. Nobody's going to go to an event. It's like I
Yeah.
wouldn't buy a ticket.
No, no, that's where all the wrestlers would go to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
That's what they would do. Um, but it seemed like they were just doing that as a publicity stunt to get more eyes on them, and that's not the right way to do it.
Yeah.
But there was a video later. Roger was at Rampage's house, and Rampage is saying, "No, yeah, we will get this figured out." And Roger was saying something along the lines that it is the cameraman's fault for still rolling, uh, for recording the
That's no
video.
that's no accountability.
Right.
He
He
don't give two rats ass.
that yeah. He That right there says that he feels entitled to anything and everything he wants. He said that it was a dream of his to mess up a wrestler like that. That he had dreamed of doing something like that for years, apparently.
Yeah, they need to put him in jail.
Yeah, he's definitely going to. I don't see how he doesn't. I just don't see how he does. He avoids jail time. The only possible way is that it's by reason of insanity, and he goes and spends umpteen years in a insane asylum or something. But I don't see how they could ever allow him to walk the street again,
Right.
because he has clearly demonstrated that he is a danger to society.
I agree.
But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. There can be no doubt that he should be banned from any and all wrestling shows for the rest of his life. After that, I wouldn't want you coming on my show.
Yeah.
So, um, oh, the and to wrap that all up, he is conscious, Psycho Stu. Um, they are doing a GoFundMe for him for his. Let's see here, Psycho Stu. Oh, now he has, because of this incident, he has his own Wikipedia page now. Not surprising. Oh, this just reminded me. Psycho Stu, Stuart Smith, that's his real name. He is an Army veteran and was using professional wrestling as an outlet for his PTSD.
I'm sure he's got that didn't help none.
No, no, not at all. So the name of the organization is Knox Pro, and that is Knock X Pro. Uh, he's 39 years old. I thought he was older than that. So he was in the hospital. He was reported to be stable but critical. Missing teeth, um, suffered broken bones in his face, and somebody had started up a GoFundMe for him. Um,
He will probably not wrestle again.
I don't know. After that, I don't know if I would ever want to get back into the ring again. Because if he was suffering from PTSD and was using wrestling to help with that, and then that happened, I don't know if he would ever be able to get back in there. but they have raised so far $211,000. I'm going to put the GoFundMe on the in the chats. But their goal was 240,000, and they've raised 211 so far. That's just in 1 week.
Hmm.
That's
He could probably sue for medical bills and all that.
Oh, there's going to be a lawsuit, no doubt. Not only will there be criminal charges, but there is going to be a lawsuit. I don't see how they can. Okay, Mr. Beast has donated $10,000. Chris Jericho has donated 2,500. Finn Balor 1,000. Nick Nemeth 1,000. Jack Perry 1,000. So we got wrestlers, professional wrestlers, donating to this cause. Um, and there are some odd numbers on here, like there's a $501, $583, $722, $819. I don't get these very specific dollar amounts here.
Maybe that's from people that's like, this is all I got.
It could be. I don't know. Um, But 400, okay, I'm going to do the math here. 493 people have donated, and that is an average of $428 a person. But that's with these very high. Some guy named Stuart Humphreys donated 15,000.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that's top donation. The top four donations are 15, 10, 5, and 2,500. So yeah, and there's others, $23, $36, $29, 17. It's like, wow. There has to be a reason for those very specific numbers. But that's incredible seeing that. There we go. So hopefully he will make a full recovery. Um, I hope he sues the shit out of him. I hope it's not like, yeah, leave him alone. I deserved it. I don't know. He did not deserve that. One tap, yes, but nothing like what he got.
Right.
Um, I guess those are my final words on this whole situation. Do you have any before we move on?
Yeah, I just hope that they wind up charging him and putting him in jail. It's my last.
I will be very surprised if he avoids jail time. I really will.
I don't see how a prosecutor could not, go after him.
Yeah. I'd hate to be the guy that he gets to defend him.
Gets to what?
That Raja gets to defend him.
Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody, and it'll be. It might be the situation where, look, there is no defense on this. We're going to plea out.
I think at best he'll probably end up just getting a public defender who has no choice to be other than to defend him.
Well, like I said, they'll probably plea out. They'll probably work a plea deal.
Yeah, well, I don't even at a plea. I don't see anything that avoids jail time. I just don't.
No, he'll go to jail if he gets charged. He'll go to jail. They'll, like I said, they'll plea deal him.
I think the easiest thing he might get is um, a hospital stay, but that'll be a long hospital stay.
He's going to get at least 5 years. I'm gonna say.
Uh, I would for premeditated murder.
Man, it. I won't even get into the conversation about things, but I've seen where some are they plea deal out and they get less time than opposed to going to trial for all of it, and then you got people that are selling dope and all that get way more time than somebody who commits murder.
Wow.
It's backwards. So,
Okay, well, hopefully everything works out the way that it needs to, because this is just a bad situation all around that could have been, should have been avoided. But I think a lot of this has to do with complete inexperience. Oh, and the guy that told Roger to get his receipt, the one that was wearing the hat, he's now saying that he has lost his regular daytime job. That his work called him and say, "Hey, you are now an accessory to premeditated murder. We cannot have you here anymore." Um,
I can see that.
yeah, I can
Good
see
call.
it's unfortunate because I know he didn't intend for anything like this to happen, but that's what happens.
Careful who you associate with.
Yeah, we all learned that one the hard way ourselves.
Yep.
Okay, so do you want to do a quick rundown for tomorrow's clash?
Yeah, we can call the matches. Maybe make which I really hadn't been following the storyline. We've been This month has been crazy. Um, so you can run through the match list and then
Well, we got 6 matches announced for tomorrow. Um, I'm going to start from the bottom up. So this match was just made last night. The Wyatt Six will be defending the WWE Tag Team Championship against the Street Profits. Street Profits just won a match against Mellow Don't Miz to get number one contenders, and they will now be challenging for the titles. Um, I'm kind of iffy on this one. I don't know who will
so
come
it's
out.
a 3-way.
No, it's just a regular tag team championship match, 2-on-2.
Okay.
Wyatt Six versus Street Profits. At this point, I don't know if I can really predict a winner on this one
I'm gonna go with Wyatt.
because I could see it going both ways. You're going with Wyatt's? Okay. Um, well, I guess just for that, I will go with Street Profits. Just so that you and I can at least have like that one that we don't agree on. Hi, Nigel. Um, the Intercontinental title it will be on the line with Becky Lynch defending against Nikki Bella.
I'm
Uh,
going with Bella.
huh?
I'm going with Bella.
After Becky
After the
saying what she did Monday, I
Yep.
see that happening.
You do see that happening?
Yeah, I can see that happening. But honestly, at this point, I really don't want Becky to lose yet because I still think that Bailey should be the one to beat her for the title. But who knows? Next, we have Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. Uh,
I see. I see Bronson winning
no,
with outside interference.
mm, okay, I will go with that. Bronson winning, outside interference, so they can continue the storyline.
Yeah, and I see that going to War Games.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Next is good old fashioned Donnybrook match. Sheamus versus Rusev. I'm going Sheamus on this one. These two have been going at it since Rusev made his return, but I'm going to go with Sheamus on this one.
I would say Sheamus, but I feel Rusev is going to be pushed a little bit, so I think Rusev is going to win. But I don't know. I'm kind of a toss up on this.
It is a toss up, especially with because both of them, the brutality between these two. I think it could be a contender for match of the night.
I'm gonna go with Rusev,
Okay.
but I'm gonna go with somebody causing Sheamus to lose.
Well, Lana could make her return,
Could.
or if you want to really go out there, we could see the return of Alberto Del Rio because they were a faction at one time.
Yeah,
But that's really grasping for straws there.
they're gonna need something big for this pay per view. Just to me, it's like it's not that great of a card for me.
Well, they got a fantastic main event, the World Heavyweight title. Seth Rollins defending against CM Punk, Jay Russo, and LA Knight.
Seth's gonna win that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Seth as well. Um, but with that said, I really want to see LA win a world title at some point.
I
Um,
think I think Punk will wind up winning a championship before he retires.
yeah, well, I don't know. SummerSlam might be it, but I the going thought is Punk may win the Rumble and then go after Seth at WrestleMania and win the title then, so that he can have that big WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, I don't see him. I don't see Punk winning tonight. I see Seth. The storyline just it's going to continue with Seth as a champion.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going Seth as well. And then you have John Cena versus Logan Paul.
Cena.
I'm going Cena as well, but when you look at when you look at how things go right before the pay per view, that whoever gets the upper hand right before the pay per view ends up being the loser of the match. And John Cena's been getting the upper hand, especially from the physical standpoint, which kind of tells me that Logan Paul's going to end up winning this one. But I don't know.
It really depends on if Logan's going to be at all time there. It could be. I don't see this a passing of the torch just yet.
No, his passing of the torch well, technically he already did a passing of the torch to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam by
Is
losing the title to him. So technically he already passed the torch. Um, but what I'm curious is the rumor is that John Cena and Brock Lesnar will be wrestling at WrestlePalooza next month. What if Brock makes an appearance
comes
at
out
Paris and causes John to lose to Logan Paul?
that would fit storyline.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
I wouldn't be surprised if he loses, but yeah, you got me changing my shit now. I'm gonna go with Logan with Brock.
And who says I can't be a social media influencer?
What if he wins and then jumps him after the match?
um,
You still get the win, and you still have the Brock build up.
no, because I would want to put it to where, okay, I caused you to lose the match. Now you have a reason to want to get back in the ring with me because I caused you the match. That would be my mindset.
And that gives Brock plenty of time, not that he's out of shape, but that gives him plenty of time to build this storyline up and get ring ready
Right.
uh, with Cena.
And I can't believe they're coming back to Indianapolis this year. They were just there for the Rumble, and now 7 months later, they're coming back to for WrestlePalooza. I don't recall a state having two pay-per-views in the same year. Not recently, anyway.
Right?
I'll have to go back and oh well no, no. Uh, no, I'll have to go back and really go through it. Uh, but it's just odd that Indiana, which for years would never get a pay per view again, they had like four in the last 20 years, and now we got two this year alone. So something's going on there. Um, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. The pre-show starts at 12 Eastern tomorrow, and the whole thing is supposed to last 6 hours. So I'm guessing 1 hour pre-show, 4 hour pay-per-view, and 1 hour post.
With a lot of commercials.
Don't remind me. They had Triple Mania 2 weeks ago. No commercials. It was wonderful.
They got to pay those bills somehow.
Yeah, it was wonderful seeing a show without commercials.
And what I might do is of course, I got to work tomorrow, do what I got to do in the morning. And then I may wind up watching the replay later,
So
not
they,
watching when it first starts up so I can get rid of those commercials.
yeah. Hopefully, what happened to me one time doesn't happen to you. I did that, did all the commercials first, and then went all the way back. I got maybe a third of the way through, and something glitched, and then all the commercials came right back.
I did the same thing, but I had a glitch and I couldn't finish watching until much later. It froze up and wouldn't let me finish watching the replay. It wasn't even the replay. I was watching it, say an hour in already. It was already an hour. So I was watching it and skipping through. I got to the very end, and then it shut completely off,
Yeah.
and I had to wait till they posted the replay to go back and finish watching. So that has happened.
Oh, and this will also be the last WWE PLE on Peacock because WrestlePalooza will now be, and everything after that will be on ESPN.
So this will be the last pay per view I get to watch.
And then here's what sucks: WWE is moving to ESPN. NXT is staying on Peacock. Uh, yeah, I don't like this at all.
There's a lot of people that don't.
Hmm.
Oh well.
Well, what are we going to do? That's what we're given.
I'm not buying another subscription. I'm not doing it.
Well, I was going to get rid of Peacock and just go to ESPN.
But they're so much more expensive.
I know. I know.
If a pay per view is at if a pay per view is on ESPN, I will watch it. If I'm at work, that'd be the only way I'll get to watch it. So
Well, you're at work half the time anyway.
yeah, I got to work. Speaking of, I got to work tomorrow. Then I'm off Monday. Then I work Tuesday, Wednesday. Then I'm off Thursday, Friday, work Saturday. I'm off next Sunday. If you want to do a review,
Okay, let's plan that next Sunday. Hold on. Let me double check. 31st, 7th. Okay, yeah.
mm-hmm.
Next Sunday we're good.
Okay, it'll have to be in the afternoon, 2ish.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Unless you want to do it on Monday. Yeah, I'd hate to do it during Labor Day, but
I have nothing going on Monday. I do have class that night because of the way everything fell. But that's not until 4:30. So if we did one on Monday, I could do it early in the morning.
yeah, morning would be best because Zach does his thing at 12. So if we can do something like, say,
10 o'clock.
9, no, it'd be
9.
9 your time, 10 o'clock mine, because Zach does his thing at 12.
9 I could do.
Okay. We'll
Well,
plan.
let's shoot for that because it'll still be fresh on my memory too.
It'd be better that way, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're doing a show on Monday then.
Show on Monday, 9 o'clock,
Yep.
10 Eastern.
Bright and early in the morning.
Yep.
All right. All right, then that's scheduled.
Hopefully Nigel and Chris and all can join us.
Yeah, thank you guys for playing along with us today. Oh, wait a minute. Can share ESPN up to 5 in a household. I seriously doubt you'd be able to do a cross country.
Not cross country share. No.
People used to be able to do that to Netflix, and then they cracked down on that one.
Yep.
So, oh well. All right, well, we'll go ahead and end. We are right at 2 hours, so that's good timing. I need to get over to Dad's house, so we will see you guys on Monday. So have a good, safe weekend and enjoy Clash in Paris next week.
See you on Labor Day.
Enjoy
Tomorrow.
Clash in Paris tomorrow. I don't know why I said next week. Have a good day, guys.
See y'all.